Well, I am glad that you are here with us for Independence Day celebrations. Of course, as the team that is in Silongo there is getting itself set to bring us the live feed on some of the events that are happening, of course, at the district headquarters there. Now, of course, the theme is consolidation of national unity, security, freedom, and prosperity. Now, all of these things come together in the bracket of social development. And what we're looking at, keyword here, is prosperity. Now, without all of this, definitely there's no prosperity. But yesterday we did have the prayers, the national prayers that we always have before we get into the celebrations for Independence Day. But with me in studios is Prophetess Mary Kaizire, who is of course from the ministry of the Lord's Covenant Church in Kanyanya. And we're going to be looking at how far we've come in terms of the importance of independence and the faith, and how the faith has in turn, okay, influenced in terms of development, social change, and things of this nature. You're very welcome, Prophetess.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, viewers. I'm Prophetess Mary Kaizire of the Lord's Covenant Church. I'm glad I'm at UBC and on this particular program. I thank the Lord for the independence of Uganda. I'm a woman, so when you ask me about independence and women and prosperity, as a servant of God, I am glad. First of all, you say the importance of independence to our nation and also to the women. This independence, the way I understand it, you see, I'm a spiritual person. So it is freedom, and this is something to do with to prosper. You can't prosper when you are not free, when you are not liberated, when you are not when you can't move freely or you can't do something. So the issue of independence for Uganda, I am glad I'm a Ugandan. I'm happy so much for being in this country and for doing the work of God. So for the independence, the importance it has done for our faith, it has helped us to have freedom of worship. It has as well helped us to, we are prospering because we can freely express ourselves in our country. We can freely connect to other nations. We are not the only ones. Other people are still struggling. So the independence helped us. These are 57 years when we have our independence. Some of us who were not existing by that time.
Half the population.
And we have grown. The government has helped so much, though it is not the one that got the independence, but at least it has put in place things that were not there initially, mostly for the faith. You see, here we are talking about the importance of independence to Ugandans in the faith. In the faith community, we have churches have enlarged. They have become strong. You see, before, let's say for this government of the President of Uganda, the one we have for President Museveni, our faith, mostly me, I'm a Christian, I'm a Pentecostal, and our faith was not that much recognized. And so the Muslim community, like for the government that was there for Idi Amin, you see, others were frustrated, they were chased, they were done this. But in this very government, we have been strong. We have managed to emerge and we have managed to stand strong. And most of our women are in leadership. Women have come out. You see, those days women used to think, I am supposed to be here, cook, marry, have children, do this and that. But now women know I have to work. It is not like the way it was taught before, when they used to say that it's men that have to sweat and get food on table. And no, we are all breadwinners, and we are all working. We are putting ourselves together, and this independence helped us so much. You see, when you are not free to do something, even biblically. You see, we are following Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and here, the children of Israel were enslaved for 430 years. And because they were enslaved that much, these people could not, they could work, but work for others. How could you know if we had not gotten this independence? By now, we'd be reporting whatever we are doing in a country, we report to a certain nation, we report to a certain kingdom, we report to, like for us, we are under British, so we would be reporting maybe to Britain, to the Queen. And now we have our own. I saw President Museveni yesterday talking about this in the national breakfast here, that prayer you are asking for. So I was there, I attended. So I saw how much now God has come up for Uganda. Everyone will rise up and start saying, then God showed me, then God talked to me. Almost 3 or 4 people that were presenting said, God talked to me in the morning. God told me to say this. So if our motto says that for God in my country, in this time God has come up to manifest himself in these years, in this generation, and we are strongly standing for our motto. You know, those days people used not to fear God. A person can just kill anyhow, a person can just rape, and they move on. And many people, but this time we are saying for God in our country, and we are standing surely for God in our country. The independence for the faith, it has done a very, very good, because now the church is becoming strong to even defend the motto of our country, that for God in our country, we can now put God first. Not initially when people used to look at money, people used to look at wealth, maybe they used to look at the power, they used to look at themselves, but now we can stand and say for God in our country, and we are
so we're saying that faith is influencing in policy making,
so
in decision making in the country.
If you were there yesterday, you'd know that. Even the president, he was saying, as I was preparing to come, here comes something in my mind. Something told me, check on this. And it was a very great warning. Actually, I'm worried as well, because as a prophetess, when you see the president is giving a warning that sounds a prophecy for the nation, it is hard. Mr. President said that the Lord told him to tell people, there's a scripture in Galatians that says, whoever, let's say you are saying that whatever you sow, you shall reap. You sow good, shall reap good. You sow bad, evil will come on you. Now, if people have been killing in this country, thinking they are doing it for themselves, it will come. It shall surely come. It came on David. God told David, and David was the loved of God, but God told David that you see how you have gotten a sword for Uriah? The sword will never leave your house. And the children of David kept killing themselves. So surely when the president said, whoever is doing this, and the Lord has showed me that as you sow evil, you shall reap it. And as you take this, and even he gave a good warning of when he said, I want to tell you something. Use the opportunity. I have seen people lose out on opportunities. I've seen people lose and they regret that I was supposed to do this. I didn't do it in time, and now the time is gone. The chance is gone. It is true. Even for the children of Israel, even in the Bible, you don't do something. You see, James tells us that when you know something and you don't do it, it will surely, you will regret it later. There's time when you need to do something. Not like for women. What can I say? These governments that were here before did not put women up. Even the older women that we see are in politics, by then they were young girls who could do something, but they didn't get that chance. Now the chance is there to lead, to prosper, to work, to earn, when nobody's asking you, woman, why do you have this? No, women are strong in our country. Women can do things. Women can own property. They can be strong. So it is a good and you know, it is a blessing at this time for us to be strong, to work, to use the opportunity, because time may come, you see.
And it's not there.
And it's not, and it's going to be now. Of when you will not have to own something, or when you'll be questioned here and there, and when you can hide whatever you would put on the table. So this independence, so I know it's good. I found it there. I was a young girl when we used to sing those songs of independence, and I was leading, and I would feel good, and I would feel I love my country so much. And this time, because of the many years I've spent not taking part and participating in this, even when I sing our national anthem, mostly the last part, it gives me that I feel like I want to cry. You see, when you say, oh, Uganda, the land that feeds us by sun and fertile soil we have, and other people don't have this. I've been traveling. People don't have sunshine, or others don't have rain. I've been to Israel 4 times. Those people, instead of rain, they get snow comes down. That in the form of having fruits and all that, they do agriculture, they cover with a net, they have this system of irrigation, they put the water up, then it hits the net and comes back as rain. They don't have rain. When it's rain, it's little, or it's hard, it's stony, it is a real storm, and it comes on them. So
as we have all of these amazing things, we are trying to empower our women, of course also the rest of the country, the young people, because that's the biggest number. Are we seeing ourselves take opportunity of what we have? Like you said, the opportunity, and in an individual sense, but as a country, just, you know, we have policy makers, we have people that are helping us realize the economic sort of independence. Are we taking advantage of what we have? Are we seeing this really being achieved?
Okay, one thing I have seen in this country is that even if food is on a table, most of the people want to be fed. I'm telling you, even economically, or even if there is money like this money for NADS, people who are there, that's why I say the president said, woe to you who are sowing evil, you shall reap evil. Because this was a time, this is a time when the president is putting everything in place, the NADS, the wealth creation, everything. And people who are closer to that plate, our economy is going down. Why? People don't dispatch everything the way it should be to reach out to people, mostly the youth. This country has almost a percentage that is big on youth. Now, even those that have gotten the opportunity to have it, they want to be fed. The complaints are much more than appreciations. They don't appreciate. Something has come in a community. You're supposed to work. That's what the Bible says. That we are supposed to work. And we shall be given. You know, the Bible tells us that God gives a blessing. God gives a blessing to the work of our hands. You are in a bed, you're sleeping, you are a youth, and you are complaining. This economic thing you're asking, who's responsible? It is the people that are responsible for it. But people are lazy, people don't want to work. They are waiting. I don't know, they are expecting that maybe if the government changes, there will be money that will be dispatched to their areas or to their houses. I don't know. So one thing I know, if there is anything to improve in our country, youth, I speak to you as a woman of God, stand up and work. The Bible tells us that work when you are still a youth. Work strongly, because it is this youth that works for the old age. You can't wait for everything to be in place. Who is going to put it there? You're Ugandan. One thing I know here in our country, every person you see in Kampala here has the origin. There's nobody that is born at City Square. They are from Gonga, they are from Nakisonga, they are from Gulu, they are from Nakapiripirit. Resources have reached there. I have seen people in the villages that have put these factories. Factories have gone as far as Masindi. People don't want to be there. They want to be here. They all want to work at UBC. Very soon they are sacking you because many people are putting in there. Everyone is looking at this smart, polished shoe, working. And yet money is back there. We can all work together and economically shall be powerful.
That is true. So what, finally, the church, in terms of the role that the church has played, even with this independence, in terms of empowering our people, helping them know that there is need to work, there is need to improve their livelihoods, even the women, for example, what have you, like as a church in whole, pushed out for in terms of addressing this message of development?
You see, because our government says there is freedom of worship, many things have not been put in place the way they should be. A church can begin, and maybe after going through all the principalities and it is in place, it depends on the leader. A leader may be so much possessed with prosperity that is going to come from heaven. Raise your hand, everyone is living here with a miracle. Raise your hand, you see you're going to go abroad, you're going to do this. But I, like Prophetess Mary Kaizi, I teach people to work. The church should teach people to work. Let me tell you, even when the people you're leading are not working, it is very hard that it will end up causing a problem of, you will have Christians who are thieves. They are there, they accepted Christ, they are Christians, but they are thieves because they don't have any earning with them. You have to teach them. Even you yourself, a pastor, you'll be poor because the people you're leading are not working. Who will give the offertory? So the church should teach people how to work. The church should even empower them, because we also have resources as a church. Yes, you can begin on something. Let's say the church land is big, and you can tell them to lay bricks. You tell the youth, please, let's do this, and they lay bricks, and they can as well have business at church. But though the church has been given freedom to worship, to do everything, some churches maybe are not encouraging people to work. You tell them and be an example. You have to be an example. Tell people what to do. Show them the way. God has given you that enlightenment. Tell them this is how you should go.
Okay. So we're getting some live feeds that I'm seeing on what's happening at the district headquarters in Sironko. Now, finally, a word to the people out there that are watching, Prophetess, so that as we wind up reading, so that we can wind up and get ourselves set for that.
What I can tell people, thank God for our country, as we say, for God and our country. Thank God for our country, because God is leading this country. And as well, try and work hard. For the independence came, but prosperity is supposed to be worked for. Let us all join hands and work, and trust God, and go to church, but also go and work. God is good to Uganda, everything will be in place.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Prophetess Mary Kaizire, yes? Who is, of course, from the Ministry of the Lord's Covenant Church in Kanyanyan. She's been saying, well, as much as we're looking at independence, we have things like mottos that we came up with for God and my country. What is the faith doing as well to help address this issue of development, or help people move forward and create a change in itself? And these are very, very key issues. You're still watching Business Today, and I can see some very amazing pictures coming through there from Sironko at the district headquarters. And of course, I'll have an entire team there that's going to be bringing us this amazing, amazing event for our 57th Independence Celebration. Just a reminder on the theme here, as we're looking at consolidation of national unity, security, freedom, and prosperity. Don't go away.